You are now entering Armbar Audio.
A Armbar Audio live stream. This is the first live stream we've done in a while. I think it might be the first that Sid and I have done together. This is for AEW Revolution 2024 post-show review, whatever you want to call it.
Yes,
Sid,
sir. Yeah, so first of all, I think the last one we did together was actually for All In. So that was the one we did first, but that was still there. But yes, this is the first stream we're doing in 2024, so that's there. Uh, I don't know how many of the, I don't know if we're gonna do these like every time we pay-per-view drops, especially for, I mean, maybe for AEW we can do it every year, every time, but we'll see. We shall see. We're just, listen, man. We just going with the flow here. That's how we do it here in Armbar Audio. So
I think the original 4 pay-per-views, maybe, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because they just added a new one for April 21st, I believe, called AEW Dynasty,
Okay. Damn,
which is
man.
interesting.
Jesus,
Um,
Tony, what the fuck, dude?
but let's jump into this, Sid. I did not watch 0 Hour. Did you?
I watched it here and there. I just know like the results of the matches. Um,
Jay White won, and Statlander and Willow won, right?
yeah, and then Jay White basically teased something for big business. So he was saying, you know, it's time for me to handle some big. Maybe on March 13th, it's time for me to handle some big business myself. He said something like that.
I
So
hope so, because you know, the Acclaimed is fun,
yeah.
and the guns fit the Bullet Club goal.
Mm-hmm.
But the only person who's not fitting into this group is
Is Jay
Jay White,
White? I
and
agree.
and it and I he shouldn't fit in. He is above this.
Yeah.
He is above this entertaining comedy,
Yeah.
feel good
I
shit.
I don't know about you, but listening to his promo as a babyface, just something felt off about it.
Yeah, well,
It just
the last time he was a babyface, he was on excursion in ROH. So
ah,
he's been a heel for like fucking
that makes
8
sense.
years or something.
That makes sense. I mean, I think, you know, the one thing maybe we could see is Juice Robinson coming back, and you know, maybe he kind of takes over the Bang Bang scissoring gang or whatever the fuck they're called, and Jay White just goes
In
off and
my
does his own
opinion,
thing.
in my opinion, maybe Juice comes back and gets Bullet Club Gold back on the right track.
Yeah.
And like I left, and this is
And
what happens.
and ditch the
They have
Acclaimed.
trios
Yeah,
titles. You have trios titles. Why aren't you taking them from them? You know, something like that.
exactly. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Um,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
it's interesting that he mentioned big business because, you know, we speculated, obviously Mercedes Moné, but a certain rival of Jay White had their last match for New Japan last week. One named Kazuchika
Shit.
Okada.
I don't have a coin here. I was gonna flip a coin, but
So it'll be interesting. Yeah, the Rainmaker.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. I actually thought, for some reason, I thought he was gonna show up tonight, but he didn't. Someone else did, but you know,
We got somebody else.
yeah. Not Okada, not quite Okada, but it'll do for now.
Right. So since we didn't watch Willow and all that, I will just say this. For the past 2 years, a lot of criticism from AEW fans has been women being featured, like the feature of women. And
Right.
right now, across AEW programs, not including ROH, you have Tony, Deonna, Willow, Sky, Julia, Chris, Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, Ruby Soho, Paige, Harley, all being prominently featured. And I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So let's just get into the main show,
Cool.
which started with the TNT Championship. The leader of the patriarchy, father of the year, Christian Cage, putting up his TNT Championship against the rising star, Daniel Garcia.
It's kind of hard to do it on the chair, but we will. Yeah, that's even more awkward than the way he does it. Now, I'll be honest, I actually didn't watch this match properly, so I'll let you take point on this.
Well, it was a good back and forth match, but obviously, like, the patriarchy got involved. Kill switch, choke slammed Garcia at one point. Mother Wayne got in the way. Matt Menard came down, beat
Oh, I saw
Kill
that.
Switch back, and like grabbed Mother Wayne's hand. Unfortunately, Nick Wayne, even though he was thwarted once, was able to get involved. And um, the crowd was very, very much behind Garcia.
Yeah.
Uh, I I will be honest. I had just arrived at the place I was watching it, and I didn't give it like I didn't pay attention to every detail, but it seems like the right man won, and Garcia is continuing to um get over.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
so
yeah.
the match did what it should have done.
Yeah, I think like for me, yeah, I kind of wanted Garcia to win this, but I could kind of see why Christian Cage won it. I do believe that it is finally going to be Adam Copeland who takes it off of Christian, and then eventually Adam Copeland versus Garcia happens, and Garcia beats Copeland for it. Because remember the open challenge, the Cope Open or whatever, Garcia and him had that match, and Copeland was very impressed with him, and I think he's even said that he would give him a title shot or something along those lines, right?
Yeah. Right. And if it's not, if it doesn't happen the way that you said, um, I would hope, I hope and pray that Kill Switch leaves Christian, turns on Christian, takes the mask off, gets not a regular name, but like a regular wrestler name. The guy's handsome. He can probably cut a promo. I mean, I've seen him talk on BT, and he was in a reality show, and he has a master's degree. Like,
Yeah.
the guy, I feel, and the story is there. There's been so many teases of Kill Switch / Luchasaurus, um, and why, and there's so much reason to think that he will.
Yeah.
Um, and that does not have to be for a title. So it
No.
could happen. Like, let's say Christian loses to Copeland, and Christian gets in Kill Switch's face, and Kill Switch is like, you know what, bitch? Nah,
Like, get fucked.
right.
By the way,
And honestly,
his real name is Austin Mattelson. So you can do something cool with that. There you go.
do something. I mean, in FCW, his name was Judas Devlin.
I like it. You'll go with that. And then, I mean, shit. That might spiral into a feud with Chris Jericho, saying that you stole it from the Judas Effect.
I become.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
So,
It's cool.
the second match of the night was for the Continental Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Eddie
Oh my god.
Kingston and Bryan Danielson. And if Bryan Danielson lost, he would have to shake the King of the Bums hand. And there was a lot going into this. Bryan was upset at Eddie's wasted potential. and he Brian was the last guy for Eddie to win over
Yeah.
because for ever since
Mhm.
Eddie started in AEW, you know, you had guys saying the same things. You had Punk say it. You
Yeah.
had Moxley kind of said it. You know, all these people said it. Claudio, obviously. Um, and this was like the last boss for Eddie on this redemption.
Yeah.
Um, Everyone thought the redemption was over with him winning the titles, but oh no, Brian was the last part of the
Cassius? I'm kidding.
redemption. And this match fucking ruled.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I like the psychology of at the beginning where Brian was avoiding the the upper strikes from Eddie and going with low kicks to the leg, and Eddie started baiting him to kick him in the leg and then blocked it and got him in the corner and started hammering on him. Um, at one point, Eddie like gave him a couple of headbutts, and I was like, if this was real, Brian Danielson would be down on the ground because Eddie Kingston has a head like mine. It's like 45 pounds, bro. Like, like if you're getting hit with a head like this, you're going the fuck down. Um, but share your thoughts, Sid.
I mean, I was just in awe of this match. I was literally just watching it, like, oh my god, that's awesome. You know, but um, sorry, I went all ASMR there for a second, but uh, I think for me, the whole idea, like you talked about, was the psychology and just how pretty much Brian Danielson was just trying to piss off Eddie throughout this entire match so that he would lose his cool and lose his focus. And
And he also worked on his arm that he does
yeah,
the strikes with.
I also
So that came into play.
although I don't know what was better, this match or Nigel McGuinness on commentary.
Nigel McGuinness, if you watch Hey EW with RJ City in his um, episode with Nigel McGuinness basically said that he basically put it out there that last year at All In, it was going to be him and Danielson. And if Brian doesn't get hurt before All In this year, I imagine that's going to happen.
I hope
And
so.
we all heard at the end of last year that this was going to be like the last active year for Brian Danielson. And it feels like Danielson said, what am I known for? Being an underdog and being technical. And so far, he's had two matches with Zack Sabre Jr., one where he won in the way he didn't want to win, and the one where he lost. And then he challenged him to a 2 out of 3 falls. The underdog part. Who's the biggest underdog? Eddie Kingston. No matter how good of a promo he cuts, no matter what titles he holds, there's still
He's
people on the
always yeah,
internet, a big vocal crowd that are like, I don't believe him. He has a beer gut, like
yeah.
shit like that. And he is an underdog. And it feels like Brian's like taking all of the crowns that he has been bestowed and he's handing them off. He's taking the torches and he's putting them in the proper hands. And at the end of the match, Eddie won after a stack power bomb. And after the match, it took him a second, but Brian shook his hand. Um,
Yeah.
During the pay per view, AEW posted on their social media a backstage between Eddie and Brian in the trainer's room where they were both being looked at. And Eddie told Brian that, you know, what matters to me the most is not the fans, like what the fans think of me, what Twitter thinks of me, what my bosses think of me, but my peers, because you were the guys who are going to remember the most. You were the guys who are going to talk the most, and
Yeah.
it really bothered me that I didn't have all that respect. And what you did for me out there, I can't thank you enough. And Brian looked at him and just he shook his hand again, and then Eddie left because he was like, "I'm going to get too emotional. I got to get out of here." And Brian was like, I thought it was going to be really hard for me to shake that man's hand, but at one point in the match, I knew that I fucked up his wrist. That's what I do. I fuck people up. I'm pretty sure I broke his wrist. And Eddie kept fighting. And he was like, and all the things that we all said about him, about how he has potential and he's not using it and he's not doing what he should be. He was like, it just took him longer,
Mm-hmm.
but he's found it.
That's just
And I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like
yeah.
I love it.
And I gotta say that really resonated with me because that's kind of personal to me as well. Because I know for me, I've always been like a slow learner, even in school. So, what might take someone 3 days to learn, it may take me like 5 days to learn. So, I really resonated with that. I was like, damn, man, I'm so that spoke to me a lot when I saw that. So, yeah, I just had to share that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
this is our show, bro.
it is.
We say whatever the fuck we want. If we want to
Yeah.
start talking about if we want to start talking about fucking cartoon right now, we can. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, no, I kind of do. But
Right.
so
Yeah, we got to show the code.
what was the third match? The scramble?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah,
Okay.
twas it.
So this was supposed to be like Meat Madness, and then Tony said that a bunch of the people were shelved. But I think he was bullshit. You had Hobbs, you
Yeah,
had Wardlow, you had Cage, you had Archer. Who's the only other big dude that they have?
like
I
Lucha's
mean, like
kill switch, but that's really it.
Bill Switch, he was somewhere else. Satnam Singh, he was somewhere else, and Rusev. So, like,
Yeah,
did he feel it would be disrespectful to have Meat Madness without one of the guys who had the chance for meat? I don't know. But
I
you
don't
had a
know.
lot of meat in that match.
I mean, honest to God, you could have just had it with those four guys, and that would have been fine.
Yeah, but I watched Collision last night and I really liked the promo between Jericho and Wardlow. Cuz Wardlow has been like the only one talking about this match and how he deserves um what's coming to him. Like he has been in these prominent places only to be taken down to the lowest common denominator again.
Yeah,
And Jericho was like, "You haven't won shit. I haven't tasted the title since I lost it, and like, who are you to say all this stuff?" And I mean, it was fun. There were some cool spots.
yeah,
Like I I really liked the big meaty men pose down for the Tron because like isn't there like a viral video or TikTok going around where like two like meatheads are in a store
yeah.
and yeah. So like I was like, oh shit, they're doing that. That's awesome. But I went into this thinking that Wardlow was going to win and he did.
Same here.
I really didn't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. Like Chief asked me, he was like, who do you want to win this? And I was like, I guess Wardlow or Dante or Jericho. It doesn't really matter because my mindset, our mindset for the AEW championship is already set in stone. We already have like a plan for that
Yeah,
that both of like we've discussed.
yeah.
So like it didn't matter to me who won this match.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
So
if you watch GCW scrambles or you watch scrambles in other promotions, it's a spot fest. It's fun. It
yeah,
takes up time. And that's basically what this was.
They had that one CMLL dude that was cool. Now, okay,
Magnus.
Magnus. Okay, now I gotta ask. I know, and maybe they're expanding it more on Collision. I haven't been watching Collision as intently as you have, but what is this whole CMLL invasion? It's just not doing it for me. I mean, cool, like CMLL guys are great. They're great wrestlers, but this whole invasion angle, I don't know. It's not doing it for me.
I think they're loosely calling it an invasion. It was kind of more of an invasion whenever they all were targeting John Moxley and the BCC.
Okay.
But basically, like CMLL and New Japan have a strong working relationship, like forever.
Okay.
And I don't know what's brought this about. Maybe it's Mystico. Maybe it's because Rocky Romero works for CML and New Japan. But it's a loose invasion because none of them have won except Magnus last night against Matt Sydal. Um, I think they're just being featured prominently. And also, like last month, you had Fantastica Mania in New Japan, which is their CMLL shows. And coming up in Rev Pro in the UK, they're going to have their own Fantastica Mania. So maybe it has to deal with that too. But it's
Yeah, but
what, as
I don't know,
wrestling
man.
fans, when we think of invasion, we think of the invasion we knew.
Yeah.
And this is not like that. This is more like
Oh
these
no.
CMLL guys are here for a while, and we're going to be featuring them.
Oh no.
You
Yeah.
know,
Like it didn't feel like that invasion between WWF and WCW. It didn't feel like that, but it, like you said, feels like a very loose invasion, and it's like they're just calling it an invasion because it's just a shit ton of CMLL guys in AEW, but they're not actually coming in and trying to take over AEW, like I
yeah. The only
guess what WCW was trying to do. But
right. The only time it kind of felt like that is whenever they targeted the BCC.
okay,
Um, but yeah, um, that's enough on that.
yeah,
But
Wardlow won,
I would
great,
say,
awesome.
did you notice? Uh, he was either on the apron and jumping outside, or like jumping through the ropes or something. But Dante Martin
Yeah,
almost fucked up his leg again, and me and Jess screamed
he almost
at the TV.
he no he jumped at Wardlow and he almost missed. I was like, dude, like the
Yeah,
fuck.
something. I don't remember exactly what happened. Maybe that was it. But like, I was like, you are gonna fucking hurt yourself again, bro. Like,
Just yeah,
please.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, moving
and
on.
then he went on to hit like three fucking slingshot,
Oh, we're not moving on. Okay.
springboard, Arabian moonsaults. No, we are.
Okay.
What was the next match?
I believe it was the women's match. No, or was it the?
FTR.
No, it was FTR. Yeah, FTR versus the Road Warrior Combat Club, because John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli cosplayed as the Road Warriors, which was pretty dope. So
I wish they would have did the makeup too.
that would have been cool. Yeah. Hey, rest in peace, Road Warrior Hawk and Road Warrior Animal. But um, yeah, I loved. I think this match is just a real good kind of like, if that last match was like a whole spot fest, this was just, it's a quote FTR, no flips, just fists, and I fucking loved it. It's just a good old fashioned brawl, you know.
It was a brawl. It was a wrestling match. There was a couple of flips in there, like that
Yeah.
Doomsday Device European uppercut was
Oh
sick
yeah,
as
yeah.
fuck. Um, I really did not expect John and Claudio to win because FDR is an established tag team and Moxley and Claudio aren't.
I mean, they're
And
part of the BCC, so
if, but if I was going to expect FTR to lose to somebody, I would expect them to lose to an up and coming tag team. I wouldn't expect them to lose to two established wrestlers. But the case can be made that they're established as singles wrestlers, but not as tag wrestlers.
Right.
And like in my opinion, FTR and people disagree with me, but I don't care. FTR is the best tag team of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't wrestle in the golden era of wrestling. They didn't wrestle in the territory days, but you could put them anywhere
Like
in
they fit
wrestling.
in any era. Like you could, they
And,
are,
and
yeah,
yeah, they're so fucking good. And to see Mox and Claudio win, it really establishes them as an actual tag team. And I don't know what's happening at the media scrum right now,
yeah.
and the
Same here.
broadcast cut off before Sting was done talking. But if there's going to be a tag title tournament, I imagine we are going to get possibly a third match out of FTR
Yeah,
and the BCC.
yeah. But we'll
Um,
talk about the main event, towards the end. But yeah.
yeah,
But I did like the match a lot. I thought this was a fantastic match, and I mean, it's just everything
absolutely.
that I expected. So I mean, these four guys are great by now. I mean, I don't think they can put on a bad match if they tried. So
I agree.
yeah, I mean,
They're top tier. They're top tier professionals.
yeah, it's good shit. What else?
It was good shit. Um, let's see. What was the next match? How many matches were there?
Like 8 or 9, like 9 match. Hold on, I can see the match card right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Oh
9
shit!
match.
That was not the next match. The next match was Orange Cassidy against Roderick Strong for the
Oh
AEW
yeah, yeah, yeah.
International
But hey, it's all good. Hey, like I said, it's our show. Who fucking cares? You go in whatever order
Yeah.
we fucking like. Okay.
So going into this match, I really wanted Roderick Strong to win
Me too.
because I don't know if it's kayfabe or not, but it feels like Orange Cassidy needs a fucking break. Like whether he's actually hurt or not, I don't care. But like he needs a break and we need a break.
We do.
Sometimes a break
Beach
from a
break.
wrestler.
No.
Sometimes it's good when a wrestler takes a while off and then comes back and they get that adulation and everything.
Yeah.
Uh, Cassidy has been working his ass off for so long, and dude, dude needs a break. And you want to establish this United Kingdom, and you have
Undisputed
the
Kingdom.
kingdom. When yeah, you have um, Taven and Bennett winning the ROH tag titles. Okay, what does ROH mean? I don't know. That's another video for another time. And you had this perfect plan set up by the Undisputed Kingdom. They took away his friends. They targeted his injuries. And then when it came time to have the match, Strong pinpointed his back, his torso, his ribs, and it was just like it was watching a surgeon. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Like one of the he's definitely like Roderick Strong. I feel like he was definitely an overshadowed member when the Undisputed Era was there. But you gotta if you see any of his matches, that dude is a technical fucking master in the ring. So
in my opinion, I've always compared Roderick Strong. So like whenever I used to watch ROH and he was in there, and like PWG and stuff like that, wherever else he would wrestle, I was like, this guy doesn't have charisma, but he's really good. He's like one of the best wrestlers I've seen, and like mat technicians, etc. So I always likened him to Dean Malenko. And then whenever the Undisputed Era happened in NXT, you started to see his personality. and then the diamond mine happened. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't see a whole lot of it, but I've seen
Me
enough.
neither.
Roderick Strong has personality, and then with the whole MJF Adam Cole thing,
Yeah,
we saw more of his personality. So I can't
he got the
completely
shine.
say
Yeah.
he's a Dean Malenko, but like in between those ropes, you'd be hard pressed to find someone as solid as Roderick Strong.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
I'm very happy that he won, because you want to establish the undisputed kingdom, right? And
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
had Wardlow win, you got Roderick Strong winning. Orange Cassidy needs a break. You got a heel with the international title for the first time in a long time. Um, and at the end of the match, what happened?
Freaking Kyle O'Reilly, much like how when he debuted in AEW, slid into the ring, and it looked like he was gonna attack Roddy, but then he just hugged him, and I think what's his face, uh, not
Mike
Taven
Bennett.
Bennett, yeah, took off his Undisputed Kingdom shirt and gave it to Roddy, who gave it to Kyle as a symbol of, hey, we want you to join our little ragtag team over here, and uh, O'Reilly just gave it back to Strong, whispered something in his ear, and he left. And the dude looked like he was about to cry. And then backstage, Lexi Nair or Lexi Nair, not that's by the
Nair.
way that's an Indian last name, by the way, Nair. It's actually Nair. Anyways, but Lexi Nair, as she calls herself, she tried to get a word with O'Reilly, but he just left. So
Yeah, I think what I got from that exchange was Kyle was very happy to be able to come back to wrestling because he was not sure if he'd ever be able to come back.
yeah,
He was glad that his legitimate friends just won,
yeah.
but obviously, storyline wise, there's some type of uh, uh he has inner conflict
Yeah,
with joining the undisputed
yeah.
kingdom,
He just misses
and
Bobby, man.
and he and he I will say this, I like the longer hair, but he
Yeah.
looked like he didn't sleep or eat for like a week before showing up.
I
Like,
mean, it kind of works for me, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah, I agree. uh so yeah, that was
Yeah. No
really cool
Okada, but
move.
we got Kyle O'Reilly. So.
Dude, I love Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, me too.
He was
Me too.
he was my favorite before they came to NXT. I'm pretty sure I liked O'Reilly the most out of the four of them. Um, but anywho, um, let's see here.
Now I think it was the
Uh,
women's match.
now, now you think,
I
or do
believe
you think
so.
it was Osprey and Takeshita?
Okay.
I think it was Osprey, Takeshita, then the women, then the main title,
Then,
and then
then the tag match.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go in that order then. It's fine. Uh,
Do you remember? Like,
I
I mean, I
feel like
remember the
no. I
match.
feel like
I
it
just don't.
was no, because
No, I think you're right. It
yeah,
was Deanna and Tony
yeah, because it was yeah. You're right, because it was
because
Osprey, Takeshita, then the tag, then the main, then the world title, then the tag team match.
yeah, yeah. So Deanna and Tony Storm happened, and the thing that I loved in this match the most had nothing to do with the match really.
I
Um,
know what you're gonna say.
Mariah May came out as a former version of Tony Storm, and Tony Storm finally gave her the recognition and the attention that Mariah has been trying to get. But
Yeah,
Tony Storm was not giving Mariah May that. She was giving herself that. And I think that is fucking phenomenal character work,
It is.
phenomenal writing.
It's so good.
Um, I I'm going to be honest here. I was in and out of this match. I I kind of just want. I'm kind of just waiting for Mercedes to show up. So like, and Jamie Hayter and stuff like that. Like, I didn't think Deanna was gonna come in, win a few matches and win the title.
Right.
So I wasn't like super invested. But I love Deanna and I love Tony. It's just like I love, you know, I'm sure it was fine. It's just
Yeah,
I
whatever I watched wasn't bad. It was what it was, you know. It
yeah,
it definitely
yeah.
was not it definitely was not the piss break match. I will tell you that. I don't think it was a piss break match, but it
I
was
feel like if there was any piss break match on this show, it was the
the
scramble.
scramble. I agree. Yeah. But it was good, and yeah, and like you said, I think there's and actually I put this on Twitter, but I think they're saving Tony for Mercedes. So,
Right.
yeah. So, and
Or
that'll be
Jamie.
fine. Huh?
Or Jamie. They have a lot of history.
That's true, but I think since Mercedes is like the big
Yeah.
business, yeah, she's probably gonna have her take the title off. And here's the thing, matter of fact, when you take the title off of Tony, that opens up an avenue for even more character work because she can go even further down that downward spiral.
That was the only reason I thought Deanna had a shot.
Yeah,
But but Deanna coming right in, winning the title, and then being faced with Mercedes, who would most likely get the title,
yeah,
seems wonky to me.
yeah. I
So
think they just want to really make good on their. I think Tony Khan wants to make good on his investment, and he's like, "Listen, you come in, and you're gonna be champion on day one, and that's probably what's gonna
right.
happen." But I also don't blame Tony because Mercedes Monet is like, because as Sasha Banks, she fucking carried the women's division in WWE for the longest time. So
In my opinion, uh in my opinion, that woman is the best wrest- women's wrestler from the West that's not named Sarah Del Rey. I think she is those two women, Sarah Amato, who was Sarah Del Rey, who became a trainer and head trainer at the PC, and Mercedes Fernando,
Renato, yeah,
whatever her name. Yeah, they're the two best women's wrestlers to come out of America of all time, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, you can right, right. So yeah, Takeshita and Osprey, huh? Holy
whoo
mother
boy.
fuck.
I mean, between this and Danielson and Kingston, like I would say those two were like matches of the night for me for sure. Like I loved the main event and I loved the title match, but these two just something special.
Yeah. From a wrestling fan, from a wrestling fan's perspective, this was the match of the night. Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita put on
A clinic.
probably, I don't care. I'm gonna say it. This is the best match of 2024 so far. I don't. That's above everything that happened at Wrestle Kingdom. That's above Osprey
Really?
versus Oak at Rev Pro. It's above everything that has happened so far. Um, Will Ospreay for a year and a half to 2 years, almost every one of his singles matches has been rated 5 stars and above, and there's a reason, and he keeps fucking proving it. But that is not to take away from Takeshita.
No,
Takeshita,
he kept up with him, man.
they don't make. Have you ever seen a Japanese dude that's 6'3" and jacked as fuck?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this dude
Well, there was that one
is.
dude. No. There,
I mean,
in
typically,
wrestling, no. But I've seen it in movies.
right, right. But I mean, like, it's not common.
Yeah.
And the guy, like, his strikes, man, his forearms scare me, dude. They scare the shit out of me. Like, I think, like, somebody's going to take one of them and just die. Like, when he hit Ishii with it during All In, like, everyone on the internet, was like, Ishii's dead now. And, like, he hit Osprey a couple of times, and I was like, he's going to fucking knock him out. And they're going to have to work this match with a knocked out Osprey. And then there was a point where he went to do the brainbuster on the turnbuckle. And I don't know if it was planned or fucked, but Osprey came down weird and hurt his back. Like, it already had started to bruise, like, within like a minute.
Like they showed it too, so.
Yeah. But like Takeshita's German suplexes, his forearms, his intensity, he matched everything that Osprey did, and the right man won. But at the same time, like, I know that there's a lot of titles in AEW, but both of these men deserve pushes, whatever that means, whether it's a title or whether it's for a nice big feud that takes a lot of TV time, whatever. At the end of the match, we saw Kyle Fletcher hug his big brother Will Ospreay, and they threw up the crowns.
Yeah. And also this Wednesday on Dynamite, Ospreay and Fletcher are gonna have a match.
Yeah. And I'm so very excited. I was so very excited to see the crowns going up, because once Mark Davis returns from injury, I'm expecting a desertion from the Callis family. And we see the Bullet Club in multiple promotions across the globe. I think the next big faction to do that, I mean, there are Perros Del Mal from CMLL has made it to Japan as well, but not in America. I think we're going to see a sect of the United Empire in AEW, and I think they're going to feud with the Callis family, and I'm happy. I will be happy when that happens.
I am down to see that. I think we need it. That would be so good.
But I mean, this match, like, there were so many exchanges that were just so fucking crisp and beautiful and brutal and just fantastic. And if you haven't watched the show, or you're on the fence about watching this show, or
at
you
least
don't
watch
even
this
like
match.
AEW, watch this match, dude. Watch this match. The next match was for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Samoa Joe defending against Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the song, but this was also a pretty, like, kind of chaotic match. Yeah, go for it, Tim. I did the Daniel Garcia dance, so you can do the Swerve dance. No, this was definitely a very chaotic match, and that's because of one Hangman Adam Page, who seems to have lost the plot quite a bit. Because at this point, I don't think he so much wants to win the AEW World Title as much as he wants Swerve to not have it.
I said the exact words to Jess. She was like, "What is going on with him?" I said, and Chief was like, he's turning heel, baby. And I was like, I don't know if he's turning heel or if he just hates Swerve that much. I was like, he doesn't care about winning the title. He just cares about Swerve not winning the title. And from the promo on Dynamite, um, to everything that happened in this match, it feels like they're doing the double turn, with Swerve and Hangman, and I'm here for it. But
Yeah, I mean,
continue.
I think it, and I think Joe retained exactly how I said he would, and that was by
How we said we
how we
would.
said he would choke out or do something. At Hangman's expense, he would basically win, which makes perfect sense because they are pushing Swerve, but they're kind of like giving it to they want to give us what we want, but they don't want to do it just yet. They're like, okay, just hold up for a sec. And
We
also,
said
Joe fucking deserves it. That's like
right,
a
and we said, I believe here on the last time we had an episode
yeah.
that Joe shouldn't lose his first pay-per-view as champ.
Mm-hmm.
He should beat Hangman because then Swerve can say, "You didn't beat me," and then Swerve can take the title off Joe in a singles match, and then Hangman can be like, lose his mind even more and be like, "You didn't beat me in that match for the number one contendership. You didn't beat me in the triple threat, blah, 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 blah." And now you got that blood feud that's been happening for the title. Uh, so I expect that.
Yeah, and I
Where
believe also
Wardlow comes in, I don't know. Because
I think he's gonna be the next challenger. So
you don't think Swerve's going to say something?
he will, but like I think his Samoa Joe is still kind of like gonna just build up his wins and get the he has to stack up the wins still before.
Now, here's a question for you, Sid, because I don't remember. When Wardlow and Samoa Joe had that little feud going on, I think it was for the TNT title.
Mhm.
Um, did Wardlow beat Samoa Joe
I
at
think he
all?
did. I think so.
Okay. So with his promos lately and his wins lately and the win he had tonight, does Wardlow get the title and then Swerve goes after Wardlow?
No, I think Joe should. Joe retains against Wardlow, which makes him even more of a final boss, and then Swerve, finally does.
So then what
You know,
happens to Wardlow? Does Wardlow fall all the way back down again?
I would expect him to turn on the Undisputed Kingdom at some point and maybe go after Roddy.
I don't know. It's tricky in
It
my
is
opinion
tricky.
because like
Or
Swerve
yeah, you just
deserves it,
yeah he
and they
does.
need to figure. And it's obvious, like he's been campaigning for it for over a year, and I don't mean just on AEW TV, but in other media outlets and everything.
Yeah,
Like he
talking about
wants
being
to
the
be the
first
first African American AEW
AEW
champ,
champ. Yeah,
and but like you don't want to fuck up Wardlow again. So this is a tightrope, in my opinion.
I
It's a
mean,
tightrope
I don't know,
to walk
cause
on.
yeah, or I mean, Swerve beats Joe and Wardlow and we have Wardlow versus Swerve, which I don't think Wardlow should win just because Swerve should be champ for a while, you know?
Yeah, and we
So,
know Swerve is diabolical enough to
yeah.
be able to beat Wardlow.
Yeah. But he won't make Wardlow look like a bitch. So,
Right.
it's not so he'll still like put Wardlow over even though he lost. But then again, like you said, Wardlow has only had the TNT title ever. So
Right.
What does he do? Does he? I don't know.
And Wardlow has only shown his promo chops in the past like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So I
and
think
he's not bad.
no. I mean, these promos he's been cutting the past 3 weeks have been good. So I think like if you keep giving him the stick and keep giving him something to be upset about, then maybe he continues to be on an upward trajectory.
Yeah,
He's not just this big guy who's with these other guys, or he's not just this big guy who's squashing someone.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I
he's
feel like
somebody who has something to say.
I do feel like he's a lot more detached from the Undisputed Kingdom than everybody else. I mean, and I get it. One, they were all Ring of Honor buddies, but two, I feel like he's
Well,
using.
Wardlow wasn't in. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
understand what you're
everybody
saying.
else was just a bunch of ROH buddies, and he's like the odd one out. But two, I think it's because he's using Undisputed Kingdom as a means to an end for his own agenda,
And Cole,
whatever that is. You know?
Cole even said to Samoa Joe, like the night after Joe won the title, or not the night, but like that
The
Dynamite, he
Dynamite.
said, "Good doing business with you, but my man Wardlow's going to win the title for me. And then when I come back, I'm going to wrestle Wardlow." Something to that
And he's gonna
effect.
basically lie down and do the right thing, and he's gonna,
Some,
lay
yeah,
down for
something
me.
like
And,
that.
yeah,
So, I
finger
mean,
poke of doom shit. I don't know.
so there's a couple different scenarios with the AEW title right now, which is cool. I
Hmm.
like to not know.
Yeah.
Um, and, and then we got to the main event, tornado
Yes.
tag match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson challenging Sting and Darby Allin. And
Sting's final match.
the video before Sting came out was perfect.
It's great.
The presentation of his sons representing two different eras of his career was fantastic. The hearing Seek and Destroy, his first theme song, him coming out to that was
It's
fantastic.
great. I know I told you
The
I was disappointed they didn't get the Crow theme from WCW, but this was better. This was way better.
Yeah,
I love that theme, by
and
the way, but it's one of my favorites. But this makes sense. Makes way more sense.
yeah, yeah. Also because WWE doesn't own Seek and Destroy.
Exactly.
I'm, but I like the way this match started with the Suns getting involved physically.
That
Um,
was cool.
Obviously Darby Allin's in the match, so there's a lot
Yeah.
of
Oh, we forgot. Ric Flair, of course, came out,
oh yeah, yeah.
and
Ric
then
Flair came out, and the Timekeeper Ricky Steamboat came out. And in the crowd you had who was all there?
the
Magnum PA, Scotty Riggs,
the
and
Paul
somebody
Walker,
else.
Paul Walker Hudson or some whatever his name is. The dude Stingray from Cobra Kai. He was in there too, in the ring in the crowd.
Oh, oh, okay. No, but there was like three older WCW slash NWA
Oh, okay.
wrestlers.
I
But
don't remember.
Nikita Koloff. It was Nikita Koloff, Magnum TA, and Scotty Riggs.
Oh, nice.
And this match was like a fucking. I mean, if it took place in a lesser building, with a bunch of rabid fans, not that the ones in Greensboro weren't, you would have thought it was a GCW match,
Yeah.
which was cool.
Yeah, I loved
Sting's
it.
crazy, Darby's crazy, and the Bucks are playing characters that are fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they're doing like the whole good cop bad cop thing, which is fun. And like the thing is, Nick is fully kind of embracing his craziness, but Matt tries to like keep it in, but it keeps coming out. So it's like he's like actually the more dangerous one. He kind of leads you into that false sense of security, and then their psychology is so good. I'm a huge fan of Matthew and Nicholas because yeah, they're very like deluded heels. That's what they are. They're delusional heels, and that's like the best. It's one of my
And
favorite
they're like
tropes of
they're
heels.
such good trolls.
They are.
They're
Yeah.
such good trolls. And like so some of my favorite spots in the match were like the going through the glass, especially Darby going off the ladder
Jeez.
through the glass. And I really,
Darby
really,
has a death
really
wish, dude.
oh, he does.
Yeah.
I really fucking loved when the Young Bucks super kicked Sting, and beforehand they said, "We don't love you, and we're not sorry," or "We're not sorry. We fucking hate you." Calling back to Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair,
I'm sorry, I love
and
you.
yeah, and like Flair got involved just to cover up Sting because he had taken 2 EVP triggers, or maybe that was before that happened. I don't remember. I just remember being fucking elated.
This is yeah.
Before we AEW Revolution, we talked, and I was like, they're not gonna win because it's Sting's final match, and it doesn't make sense. And you were like, but I wish he would win and go out on top. And I was like, I didn't understand. And then I thought to myself, well, the Bucks could win,
Let me
and
get another
all these
Bucks
people
title run.
will be upset. Yeah, but heels as tag champs while you have like Private Party and
Yeah,
Top
true.
Flight, everybody starting to come up. But then I was like, wait, if Sting and Darby win, they could vacate and there could be a tag tournament. And AEW loves tournaments. So like
And they
it
do a
works.
damn good
And
job of it too.
yeah. And just the ending was beautiful. I love how much respect Darby has for Sting. Like not just tonight, but every
Yeah.
time they talk,
Yeah, he's just
Darby will say something and then give the floor to Sting, and he will like go off camera, or he'll sit down, or he'll like kneel. Like he respects him so much. And there were fans in the crowd crying, and
yeah.
it,
That was,
it was just
it was perfect.
it felt so good. It felt so good. And Sting even said, I want everybody, I wanted this to be memorable for everyone. I want this to be a night that you remember and you can look back and feel good about.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, Brian, you love this match. You love the championship match, but Takeshita versus Ospreay and Danielson and Eddie were the matches of the night for you. And I said Takeshita and Ospreay was the match of the night for me. But the moment, the feelings
Oh yeah.
from this,
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
it was fantastic. And
We will. Yeah, this is like I mean we can just finally tomorrow whenever we're married and have kids whatever that may be, we can talk about Sting's final match. It's like hey, that was his final match. You know what's funny?
right.
I've realized, okay, so Sting for his final match came out to Metallica, and so did Taker. Just interesting little connection there. But someone else wrote on IG or Twitter or something. Taker retired in 2020. Kane retired in 21. Tragically, Bray Wyatt passed away last year, and this year Sting's retiring. So it's like the end of all like the spooky or darker characters in wrestling. But we do have Malachi Black and Darby Allin. So it's not so much an end, but it's almost like a passing the torch to the next crop of characters that kind of embody that kind of darker feel. And so I think that's good. They're kind of making way. The old guard is kind of making way for the new, the younger but fresher talent, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, Taker has a podcast. That's so crazy. I don't know what he talks about, but he has a podcast now. And
Probably talks about cops and shit.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. Cops.
But anyways, so Sid,
Mm-hmm.
we always give grades for pay-per-views. This is the first pay-per-view we're reviewing for 2024. What is your grade?
Oh man. I am not gonna lie. I have to give it an A. I have to. I don't think I
Agreed.
could give it anything lower than an A.
I can't give it an A plus because of the scramble and the women's championship match.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but I am going to give it an A because of literally everything else.
yeah. And of
Fucking, it was
course,
a fucking great night of wrestling. It was a great night of emotion.
it's a great way for
fantastic.
Sting to, finally hang up his boots and face paint, and the bat and whatnot. But I mean, all I gotta say is, thank you, Sting.
Thank you, Sting. And with that, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one, and peace and love to all of you.
Hey.